To define your core values, think about the principles, values, and beliefs you and your business must embrace to be successful. The most fundamental short list of these is your core values, the fundamental things your business believes in. In general terms, core values help us to understand behaviors that are correct, right, or important to successful achievement of our mission versus those that are incorrect, wrong, or to be discouraged because they will lead us down the path of failure. It is our core values that need to be considered whenever we are making an important decision that must be ethical. Core values fall into two broad categories: life or business. Now, core values can be about life or the quality of life. They are deep internal beliefs about how we should live our lives. Examples may include good stewardship and sustainability. Now, core values can be about business. These core values are often visible in the mission statement. For example, the value of innovation by Apple, think different, or the values of reliability, commitment, and respect. If you're not sure what the core values are, there are a number of ways you can identify them. Since the sum of the parts is often greater than the whole, a good place to start is to examine the core values of your key stakeholders. Make a combined list and select a dozen or fewer of the strongest. Next, ask your management team to compare current and past employees. What are their core values as evidenced by their actions? Compare them to your existing list and combine again. Now think about how committed you can be to each of these core values. Which ones are the strongest? Now use these thoughts to create a smaller list, say half a dozen or fewer. This smaller list is now ready for a broader review by a larger number of stakeholders, employees, customers, and others with a relationship to the business. Once you have identified your core values, it's time to roll them out and incorporate them into all business activities. By definition, a code of conduct is about expectations for behaviors related to business matters and generally focuses on employees only. Some codes of conduct focus on simple, in-office expectations, such as use of company resources for personal business. Examples may include telephone, copy, and computer restrictions. Others may include broader topics, such as conduct related to business antitrust practices or investment and operations in countries which do not share core values. For example, if you value diversity, you may not want to set up a business branch in a country that does not support these values. On the other hand, a code of ethics is more about overall behaviors and how they relate to decision-making. They deal with what is right versus what is wrong and focus more on principles and core values. Ethics may deal with issues such as conflict of interest or compliance with national, regional, and local laws. Overall, codes of conduct and ethics are designed to be a bridge between what is legally correct and what is morally correct. Often, a violation of a code of ethics means that there has been a violation of a law. This is why your legal counsel should also review your code of conduct and ethics. As an example, PepsiCo, a large multinational company, combined their code of conduct and ethics into a single document. There is also a growing set of legal requirements for combined documents. For example, any company listed on the New York Stock Exchange is required to have a combined code of conduct and ethics. This makes it easier for potential investors to understand the core values of businesses that they may want to invest in, while also providing at least some level of assurance these businesses are conducting themselves according to a stated set of ethical standards and are safe for investment. Now, let's talk about really making an impact. This lesson is about thinking at a high level and understanding the big picture. But what does that mean? It means that when you are working on your draft of your code of conduct, you will go through many revisions, but you want this final draft to really make an impact. You don't want to overwhelm stakeholders with information, so your code of conduct should be both short and memorable. Focus on the areas of highest impact, for example, your core values and perhaps only a few ideas under each core value. You want your employees to read and remember this document and use it in the appropriate circumstances. By incorporating your core values and adding a few easy-to-remember points, your team will find it easy to stay in compliance with the code. Another way to achieve this is to constantly shift your focus to the high-level big picture. When drafting the document, you may want to write out many ideas, but as you go through the revisions, look for related areas that may be combined or reduced. For example, if you look at the PepsiCo Global Code of Conduct Table of Contents, you will see an area titled Respect in Our Workplace. Many similar subtopics are grouped here, including diversity and inclusion, human rights, and anti-harassment. Rather than call out sexual harassment as a separate topic, it is included by virtue of the values of diversity and anti-harassment in general. A smaller business may even combine this further by covering all these topics in a few paragraphs under the heading Respect. Another way to maintain a complete code of conduct and ethics that is shorter and more memorable is to tie it to and cross-reference it with company policies. Let's again look at the PepsiCo document as an example. There is a very short section on non-retaliation, which is just a few sentences and bullet points. At the end of this section, it directs the reader to the global non-retaliation policy. You will find that having a good set of policies and procedures will give you a strong foundation to build your code of conduct on. In addition to linking key sections of code and policy, areas of lesser importance or significance for your business may be covered solely by policy. Having a good set of policies and procedures is important for good corporate governance, which in turn increases business accountability, reduces risks, and builds trust with stakeholders.